condemn, and all Nigerians condemn the wanton killing of innocent lives and the attempts by the people to make the country look like it's not governable or that something is wrong. The truth is, 95% of the country is functioning, but people are questioning about their security. You're absolutely right. And therefore, the government is determined that, Nigerians will not be moved, or stampeded in any way through these acts of terrorism. The killing of innocent people is despicable for no reason that anyone can explain. But what is being done, I think the government has an approach now, and what it needs to do is to pursue this approach relentlessly. And of course, the first prong of the approach is counterterrorism. And there, the government has not been waiting. It has asked for help from other countries such as the UK, United Kingdom, the US, France. All of them are pitching in. And I think the extra help, additional help, is making a difference. There are many, many acts which are stopped, which of course the intelligence agencies cannot go on and divulge, but I know that they are there. But even one life lost is not acceptable.
Is dialogue an option, though?
Yes, so that's one prong. I said there are three prongs, so that is one. The second prong is a political one, where initially there wasn't the appetite to do this because nobody really knew what the group wanted. Even till now, the president has said, whatever they want, let them put it on the table, let's understand. But there is that aspect also being pursued on the political side and dialogue side. And there's a third aspect that we're really working on, which is the aspect of inclusion. We are looking at, what do I mean by that? Much of our growth in our economy has not been inclusive in the sense of creating jobs for young people, or improving poverty at a fast rate that we would want. So we need to look at that and to say, how can this growth, we don't want a growth where rich people are getting richer and the poor are falling further behind. That's not the kind of development we want. So we're really going into it. This is why housing is also important, and agriculture, and all those sectors that will create jobs. So we are saying in those areas where this phenomenon is common, we must drive the type of development. We must create jobs for young people, both long-term, by working on sectors like agriculture, housing, solid minerals, but also even short-term. We have community-driven projects now that we are going to be launching in these areas. And we have even job creation for university graduates. So we are targeting those areas. So that's the third prong. And I believe with this approach, counterterrorism, political dialogue, as well as the inclusion, it's a way that we have to pursue to help solve this problem.
All right, let's touch on very quickly on this issue of the probe into the subsidies. The House of Representatives obviously has put out a report, and everybody's expecting the government to react to that, to probably bring people to book. How is the government looking to react to that report?
I think that, what I would like to say is that, the inquiry into whatever happened in the subsidy is welcome. Nigerians want to know, you remember that when we were giving some briefing to the country on this, we mentioned the issue of smuggling. At that time, there were people who said, no, you're just trying to hide. There's no such thing. But now it's turning out that, this was right, that smuggling to other countries is a big factor. Or oil that is simply not delivered here but hijacked elsewhere is a factor. So let's look at it. The point is that the House is to be applauded, and the National Assembly for the work they've done. But they have not yet given it to the government officially, to say, okay, they were reading it in the House and voting and making amendments. When that process is over and they've handed it over to Mr. President, then will be the time for the executive to take a look. So and definitely, those who have wronged the country should be brought to book. But it's not just that we are sitting waiting for this report. On our side, actually on February 28th, Mr. President asked me, to chair a meeting to talk to marketers and bankers about how to reassure them that in spite of what was happening, the government will continue making sure that the country is supplied with products, and then to look into other issues surrounding the subsidy, like the arrears. We had that meeting on February 28th in Lagos. We had bankers, marketers, NNPC, PPP, all the concerned agencies, including finance and DMO. As a result of that meeting, we looked at several issues, such as the process for finance for making these payments. And we decided there were some conflict of interest issues in that. You couldn't have the same companies verifying landed products and then verifying payments at the end. We held a meeting with those companies, as you know. We already announced, we agreed with them that we are letting them go so that we could clean up and redesign the process.